Right, I've got my coffee here because this is going to be a long haul. I've got all the Q&A questions up here on my lap, so which I'll just quickly show you. There it is. I'm going to go through this. I've just obviously watched as well, Croatia, by the way, going through. I've got this on because I've been repping it today. Football's coming home. So it's been an eventful day watching all the football, but tonight is free. It's now about 10 o'clock on Saturday as I'm recording this, so I'm going to go through all the Q&A questions from last week. Sorry, for one, if I miss anyone's out. I've tried to stick to a rule of not answering every question because it'd take about 45 minutes at least, and also try not to do duplicate answers, you know, one to where questions are very similar, because a lot of people ask very similar questions, and try not to be too heavy towards certain people. Some people ask like 5 questions, so I try to not choose all their answers or questions, sorry. So that's the rules in general, but let's get going on this. And the first question came from Oliver Ian07. He said, do you think the Mahrez deal will actually happen? I do think it'll happen. I think the Jorginho deal will actually happen too. I think there's just a lot of gamesmanship going on. We've got to be patient on that front. I think both the players and both the teams kind of want it to happen, but just on their own terms. So I think it'll get there, just got to be patient. And Tigao said, what's your thoughts on the City wake it for next season? I actually like it. I guess it's nostalgia kicking in. I guess it's the fact that it's a little bit different. I quite like the socks as well, weirdly. The brightly coloured socks that everyone else seems to hate. To me, it's just quite a nice kit. It's a bit weird and a bit garish, but sometimes kits should be a bit weird and a bit garish. At least it feels a bit different with the pinstripe and so on. Something that we've not seen at City for a while at least. So that's my personal opinion. Liam87 said, what's your top 3 Man City cult heroes? Liam, that's a difficult question. Kinkadze is the ultimate cult hero for me. Zabaleta is up there as well. Even though he's like a proper hero, he's still a cult hero. And after that, oh, Shawnee Wright. Shawnee Wright Phillips. It's got to be Shawnee Wright. JXRMO. Anyway, question, he said, should City keep Kompany at the club after he's finished playing, whether as a defensive coach or ambassador, and how long do you think he has left as a player? I think he's got about 2 years left, and yeah, 1,010,000 trillion. What's after a trillion? Quadrillion? After that, percent. We should definitely keep him as an ambassador or a coach or whatever. Vinny can do anything he wants in the football game at all. I think he's got grander designs than just coaching a manager. Personally, I can see him heading up UEFA or FIFA one day. He's that intelligent, that well-spoken, that articulate, that single-minded, and that much of a leader that he can go as far as he wants in the game, be it a coach, be it a club president, be it UEFA president. Vinny is just a genius. I think he might even be too big to be an under-18s coach at some point, you know, go for the leap. I think he'll just have grander designs than that, but either way, he should 1,000,000,000% be involved in the club, and I'm sure he will be at some point because he loves this club like we love him. Peter P said, who do you think will win the World Cup? Peter, it's coming home, mate. Seriously though, maybe France or Belgium. Nah, it's coming home, it's coming home. The weirdly named Flair, Blitz, Roblox and more said, who is better, Phil Foden or Brahim Diaz? They're 2 very different players. That's like comparing, I don't know, Leroy Sané to Fernandinho, in my opinion. I know they're not that different, but Brahim Diaz is more of an attacking kind of, he can run at people a lot more, he's more of a dribbler. I guess it's more like comparing Sané and Bernardo Silva. I both think they're both fantastic, but they're different kind of players. Phil Foden to me is more kind of Iniesta, David Silva-esque. He'll control games. He's also younger, by the way, which makes a massive difference in terms of the development. He's not as strong yet as Brahim Diaz is, and which will make a difference in general in the men's game. But Phil's graceful, effervescent, controls games, silky. Brahim is just sheer fun, spectacular, dribbling, trying to make things happen constantly. Both coexist, both are fantastic talents, and I genuinely can't choose between the two of them. That's all you need to know. Gregory Price said, you have nightmares about facing Wigan in the FA Cup. Gregory, why would you have to remind me of that? Just to get away from that, I need another question. Olivia Ian07 said, how many players do you see us signing this summer? Who'll be the biggest rivals next season? That's 2 questions, Olivia Ian. Olivia, it's Oliver Ian. I'm tired, it's very late, I need some more coffee. I think it's going to be just the 2, Mahrez and Jorginho, maybe some bizarre bonus signing, some young player that we'd never heard of, a Zinchenko style signing, something like that. Biggest rivals, Liverpool for me. I think they're going to improve on. I still don't think they'll be good enough. I think we'll beat them. I think we'll win the league, but I think they'll run us close. MCFC_Liam, you're a dick, and this is why, because this is a horrible question. You're not a dick, I'm sure you're not a dick, but for this question you are. Keep, sell, loan, Bernardo, Sterling, Sané. Oh man, keep is Sané, 100%, because I think he's a phenomenal player and possibly the most useful at the moment. Sell Sterling, because I think we get a shitload of money for him, and he's English. And that's nothing to do with Sterling. I think he's fantastic, by the way. I wouldn't like to sell any of these. And loan would be Bernardo Silva, because I think he could go on loan somewhere like a top club, someone like a a mid-top club, you know, not like a Real Madrid, but something like Atletico or Dortmund or something like that. It'd be spectacular and come back even better. Then keep, sell, loan, Silva, Aguero, Kompany. Once again, you're a bastard for this, and I hate you very much. Loan would be... sell would probably be Aguero because he has... No, actually, sell would probably be Kompany because he's pretty much... Oh, I don't know, really. It would be... No, do you know what? Loan would be Kompany because I'd want him to come back and then retire with us. Does that make any sense? Keep would be Silva because I still think he's got another year or two to dictate games. And sell with a heavy heart would be Aguero because I think we could pick a little bit of money off him and we could probably get someone younger to replace him. I hate that question though. Liam87 said, what's your dream job, not including YouTube or footballer? Well, they never were my dream jobs, if I'm being honest. This was this here, you know. I think that says it all. Being a guitarist, musician in the band. Oh, it's hard to tune this, but yeah, I was in a band for a while, as you may know if you watch these videos often. We were really good, we got signed and all that kind of stuff, and it just didn't happen, but that's life. But that was always my thing, to be a rock star and all that kind of stuff. Awais Hussein said, when did you first meet Nicholas? Sorry for the personal question. It's fine, man. Do you want to know something really, really sad? Well, it's not that sad because everyone does it these days. I met her via Tinder 4.5 years ago. Tinder. Yeah, Tinder true love story there right for you. Give us a sponsorship, Tinder. But yeah, that's how I met her. I just swiping about. Just got the app, swiping. I sort of thought she's pretty fit. Swiped. Next, we don't know, about a week and a half later, 2 weeks later, we were on a date, and then the rest is history, I guess. Now we live together in this beautiful flat. So, cheers, Tinder. King of Class said, who will be City's best player in 5 years? King of Class wants to know who's going to be the king of the class in 5 years' time. I reckon it'll be someone we don't even know, someone that we've not seen. But then, again, it could be someone like Kevin De Bruyne, who might have gone up another level by then. He'd be around his early 30s, maybe, or something like that, about 30. And it'd be fantastic, I reckon. I think he'll be a peak Kevin De Bruyne. And then it could be Leroy Sané, who has such a ridiculously high ceiling level. Who knows? Stones could be all of a sudden the best centre-back in world football. That's the best thing about it. You never know. It could be Phil Foden. Phil Foden could fulfill his potential, be this 22-year-old, 23-year-old absolute world-class central midfielder. The beauty of football is you never know. We could sign someone that we've never even heard of yet. Football's not even heard of yet, and it could be a superstar. That's what I love about football, though. SPC Pittsburgh 0012 with a very catchy username there said, do you think Pep is going to stick around for a long time and be kind of like a dynasty manager? Nah, I wish he did, but I reckon another 3 seasons I reckon we'll get out of him, and hopefully he'll build something there anyway inside it would have been 5 years that he would have been here, and that's good enough for me. I mean, you can't hold on to the manager forever, just to get 5 seasons of Pep would be an absolute honour. King of Class, again, your second question there, you're sneaking. I said, who would you like as our next kit sponsor? Oh, do you know what, I've never thought about that. Just for pure nostalgia reasons, because I'm a bit of a hipster, I would love something a little bit odd like Nintendo or something. That'd be class. Imagine, like, but only if they did like the colours properly, like, so they inverted it, so it was a nice white blue kind of Nintendo logo. I think that'd look class. A bit different, a bit weird, but maybe a bit out there. But maybe something, yeah, something a little bit different like that. Some kind of left field company like, you know, Nintendo or something like that. Ishii asks, and this was a week ago, well before the Neymar outrage for what it's worth, would we ever buy Neymar? I think his head's just totally set on Real Madrid, to be honest, where he wants to be a star. He might even go back to Barca one day. Nah, actually, no, he'll go to Real Madrid. That's why he'll be a star, because it's all about his ego. I don't think he wants to play for Man City, personally. I'm not really arsed. Forcing Gundogan, I really like him, but don't see why so many City fans talk bad about him. Your opinions? Well, he's an alright player, he's a good player, and probably as good as many squad players that you're actually going to get. He's not a bad player. He's not a great player, but he's not a bad player. He's alright. I think in general, when our squad's this good, you tend to want something to actually kind of kick against or someone to moan about, and it just happens to be Gundogan. He's a decent little player. That's all I can say, really. Ethan Williams asked, are you ever going to start using the green screen again? I thought the graphics looked really good. Well, firstly, Ethan, thank you, very kind of you. Secondly, it was just very, very difficult, to be honest. The thing about a green screen, in the previous place I was living, it was massive. Like, I don't know, if you ever watched a green screen pop up, it's like a circle disc thing, and it pops out like a poppable tent. It's an absolute bastard to put away and put up, and each time you do it, it takes like a load of time, and it's just fiddly, and it's messy, it takes up a lot of space. And this flat, as beautiful as it is, isn't actually that big, so I don't want to have to put a screen up and down every single day, because it's just a pain in the arse, I'm not going to lie. So that's the only problem. This is a space thing, a time thing, whereas I can put a camera down here now, like this, I can just put it down anywhere in here, look at that, it takes no space, and I can just record a video. Fine. Whereas the green screen, I've got to find a tripod, set it up, I've got to put it somewhere and ruin the flat for half an hour, what it is, then I've got to fold it down again and put it away, then you get what I'm saying basically. I do like the green screen, it's just more finding a space to be able to use it. Fingers crossed one day it'll come. MCF City said, have you ever been to Germany? If not, I recommend you visit the beautiful city of Leipzig. I would love to go to Leipzig. I've been to Germany a few times. I've been to, what's it called? I went somewhere recently with work. Let me find out actually. Yeah, when I used to work for Blacks, the outdoor retailer, I went to Herzogenaurach. I can't even say that place. That's where the Adidas headquarters were. I went there and that was cool, but it was kind of like a middle of nowhere kind of thing. I've also been to Berlin a couple of times, and I've also been to Munich. So I liked all those places. Germany's a very cool city and I'd happily visit it again. Jay Legend said, if we meet Liverpool in knockout stage next year, do you think we can get through? Because personally, I don't see how we can. Jay, don't be so negative, mate. Something's got to change at some point. Yeah, no, seriously, we'll have to beat him at some point. This whole thing, it could be that they get too confident or too cocky, but Pep's too intelligent, football's too unpredictable to have the same result every year. It's not going to happen. We'll beat him at some point. It may be difficult, it might be 2 years from now, but eventually we will beat them at some kind of a knockout stage, because that's how football works. So don't worry about it. Worry about it when it happens, and then let the managers and the players sort it out. Kansas Jay said, favourite home-cooked meal? Does cereal count? No, I'm joking. Pretty much anything, mate, really. I'm not that fussy. I like anything kind of spicy with meat, you know, like Thai red curry or something like that. Actually, you know what I like I made recently? I made a Spanish meatball stew thing. That was really nice. I saw the recipes on like BBC Good Food or whatever. I made that dead nice. But in general, I'm not really that fussy. Just some nice kind of meat dish with spice or something like that, or some Thai stuff or anything like that. FIFA player with an absolute bastard of a question. Would you rather wear a United shirt or a Liverpool shirt? True story, when I was a kid, I went to play for a team called Flixton, which is near where I lived as a kid. And I actually stormed out of training when I was about 10 years old because they made me wear, I tried to make me wear a United shirt because they had no more red bibs left to separate the teams. So I was like, no, I'm not going to wear it. So that was when I was a kid. I kicked up a fuss about wearing a United shirt, then I never played for Flixton again, which is quite funny and quite endearing, I guess, but it's kind of true in how I feel now, really. At the same time, the thought of wearing a Liverpool shirt right now makes me feel a little bit queasy, but United, the old Mancunian, I guess if it's just for a day or something, it'd probably have to be a Liverpool shirt. Yeah, because I could not wear a United shirt because I've been like, yeah, they're the team that I've kind of hated all my life. Liverpool are a recent addition to this category, so it'd have to be a Liverpool shirt by default. But that's still, mate, you're asking, would I rather be punched in the face or kicked in the shin there? That's not good either way. Sky Blues TV said, can Sane be as good as Hazard in the future? Of course he can, mate. Sane's a fantastic player. He's only going to get better. His ceiling limit potential is absolutely sky high. Yeah, he could be as good as Hazard, definitely. He's already got stats nearly as good as him. He's probably just as good at some bits already in terms of dribbling with the ball and so on. Hazard's more refined, definitely. But yeah, of course he can. Aidan Burgess said, what happened to Groot? Aidan, he's alive. Come here with me. Groot's right here, mate. He was on the shelf behind me over there. That's a clock, by the way, from a gig, and that's a weird dinosaur thing. But Groot's here. He's just there. I was filming over there, and Groot was just here. Let's get his camera back again properly. Yeah, so to clarify, he's just over there. Do you know what? I'm going to bring him next to me for the rest of the video. There he is. There's the little guy, Groot. I miss him, man. He was one of the staple early Esteemed Kompany videos on the shelf dudes. The glasses, by the way, he doesn't actually need them. He's a tree. Trees don't tend to need glasses. They're just some old glasses that I borrowed from my sister, I think, ages ago. That weren't mine, and they just kind of got put there. But Groot's going to stay here for the rest of the video, just to keep Aiden happy. Eduardo Brito said Gabriel Jesus or Leroy Sané. For me, it's Leroy Sané at the moment. I still think Gabriel's a fantastic little player, but I think Leroy is definitely ahead of him. Leroy is a PFA Young Player of the Year, a spectacular player. And Gabriel is very good with loads of promise too. But Leroy is just about ahead of him at the moment for me. Jack Glennon said, what do you think about the green card? That's an interesting one, Jack. Now, if you don't know, the green card is this new initiative that's been tried at this kind of weird FIFA tournament, the CONCACAF tournament. Basically, it's a thing where you can get a green card from the ref, and it means you have to leave the pitch. Now, if you've got a substitute remaining, you can substitute the player off. But if there's no substitutes remaining, it means you just have to leave the pitch. Basically, it's like a red card, but without the suspension. So basically, if the ref comes over to you and goes, right, you've been an idiot, you've been a knob or whatever, green card, it basically means you either get subbed off or you go off the field of play, but then you don't get suspended after that. It's kind of weird. But I'm not against the idea of trying it. It's a little bit different. The idea being to kind of clamp down on minor offences that maybe don't deserve a long-term suspension, but definitely would affect the team and should go leave the pitch for it. Like maybe like swearing or something like that, or maybe diving. So it's like you're costing your team, so don't do it. but maybe it's not worth a 3-game ban. Interesting though, definitely. So I'm all for trialing things like that. It's a bit weird, but it could be fun. Aussie Warrior, is it Mad Max? Is that you? Aussie Warrior said, you could take one player from the academy side right now and put him in the senior squad, assuming game time. Who would it be? I mean, what's the rules here? We're talking players who've already played for the first team. If so, even then, I'm going to say Lucas Namacha. I would love to see him be the third choice striker and get a little bit of game time next season, presuming Aguero and Gabriel Jesus are the other two. I'd like to see him get more games because I think he could be a very good player. Potential. Maybe one day with a little bit of luck and a few loans here and there. Oh, Harry Kane, who knows? Man, this is one mammoth Q&A, but I'm going to carry on anyway. Have more coffee and answer Slacker HB's question, which is also, what do you think about Timo Werner for Kun once Kun leaves? I think Gabriel and Timo could be our long-term strikers and they could both drop in number 10 role as well, which is essential for Pep. I really like Timo Werner. He had a crap World Cup, but then again, so did Germany, so did loads of people, so did Messi, so did, you know, pretty much all of Spain. But he's still a quality player, loads of potential, loads of pace, loads of energy, loads of work rate, good touch, skills, goals. I would love him at Man City, and I think he's the kind of person that could thrive under Pep Guardiola. See Horan with another awkward question here. Whose send-off for the final match would be the biggest stroke, most emotional for you personally? Silva, Kompany, or Aguero? All I know is that I'm going to be sobbing, man. I'm going to be crying my eyes out all those games. But I'm going to say, I already know my answer for this, just because it is way with words. Vincent Kompany is a leader, he's a captain. It's no coincidence that every single time someone leaves like big, like Yaya or Zaba, Kompany's there to do a speech because he is the heartbeat of this club. He may not be our best player, though that's debatable even then, but he's definitely the heartbeat. He's definitely the leader. He's definitely the man that resonates with the fans. And Silva and Aguero, they don't tend to speak to the public that much. We love him. We love them both unconditionally, of course. But Kompany, he's gonna say stuff that makes you be like, Vinny, don't do it, man. Don't go. Don't leave. Whereas Silva and Aguero will be adorable, definitely, but there'll be little short, you know, polite interviews, and we'll miss them loads. But Kompany will do this 15-20 minute speech that will have us in tears, so it'll be him for me. Ermias Alim here with the most obvious troll question. He said, honestly, when did you start supporting City? But he spelled City with a city, which is EH at the end, which is a common Manchester United fan thing to do. He's trying to catch me out there as if it's something to hide. Even if it was 8 years ago, it wouldn't matter, but it's not, unfortunately for you, though, your smart-ass question. I've been a City fan all my life. You can tell by my accent, surely. I'm a Man lad. I've grown up in Manchester. I've been a Blue since, I think my earliest memory of being a City fan is like 3 or 4 years old. My first game was 94. It was against Swindon. We won 2-1. I remember David Rocastle scoring for us. I was obsessed with him as a kid. I thought he was fantastic. Rest in peace, David. Fantastic footballer and a great man. And also Kevin Horlock playing for Swindon, scored an own goal. I think it was the pundit guy for Jan-Olga Fjortov. I think he scored for them. I remember looking about 2 years ago just to try and remind who scored. I think it was him who scored for them. I remember being there at 12 o'clock on a Saturday or a Sunday. It'll be one of those things, but I know it was like mid-February or something like that. I was there, sat there, minding my own business about 12, and my dad was like, right, I'm just going to pop out and go should do some shopping or something like that. I was like, okay, cool. And by this point, I'd never been to a game in my life. And he came back about 45 minutes later, 50 minutes later, and right, we're going to the City game. I was like, what? He'd gone to Main Road to queue up just to buy tickets for Man City Swindon. I don't even remember asking to that. I must have been asking all the time at that age. I don't remember, but I've never been more excited than walking up to Main Road, walking through those little kind of cobbled, kind of rammed together terraced houses, walking into the north stand, sat behind the goal, watching people warm up. I was obsessed, and it was the best day of my life that day. I loved it. So there's your answer, mate. Thank you for sending me on the nostalgia trip, even though you were trying to be a smart arse. It was nice of you. Thank you. Jim the Tim here saying best atmosphere in away ground without question mark, but I presume it's a question, not just a statement. And given the fact, Jim, you're wearing a Celtic shirt, I feel like you're digging here for an answer that you want to hear. I know you are. I can tell already, but I'm going to humour you anyway. You wanted me to say Celtic, but it probably was Celtic at an away ground. I was at the 3-3 game the year before last. It was fantastic. It was a great game, incredible atmosphere, great night. And I made a video with Paul for Blue Horizon TV, which absolutely banged. It got about 400,000 views, something like that. It was amazing. But yeah, that was the best atmosphere I've seen in an away game. Rafin Hossein said, would you wear a United shirt for £1,000? Yeah, I don't want to wear a United shirt, but it's a grand, mate. I'll put a football shirt on for £1,000. Of course I would. It's £1,000. He'd put it on and go, I don't want to wear this. You take it off again. You just got a grand. Of course I would. It's only football. Adam Wildmore said, which part of Manchester are you from? Adam, for my sins, I'm actually from around the Stretford-Urmston area. I'm on the borders of like technically Urmston kind of thing. I know it's South Manchester, near that lot, but that's where I'm born, but I still end up being a Blue by choice, actually. So I've been a South Manchester lad pretty much all my life. So yeah, for my sins I'm there, but now I'm in the city centre anyway. But yeah, I'm from Urmston. Paul Spencer said, Laporte or Stones? If Stones, then why buy Laporte? If Laporte, then why keep Stones? It sounds like a riddle there, like if you've got a chicken hen and some seed, you have to get the river across there, and anyway, I digress. Paul, I think it's pretty obvious surely. Laporte is a left-footed cultured centre-back who was young. Stones is a right-footed cultured centre-back who was young, and Otamendi and Vinny are both getting a bit old. Surely they've been bought to play together. They are the future of our defence. The two can coexist at the same time. I think the plan is for them to be partners in the long term. So to me, that's why we bought them, because you need 4 centre-backs. Those two complement each other really well in theory, and as soon as Kompany and Otamendi go, they're obviously going to be our first choice. So I think that's the answer, really. Jack saying, what's the biggest animal you think you could take on in hand-to-hand combat? Do you know what, Jack? Unsurprisingly, mate, I've never really thought about this. Biggest animal? Depends how tough they are, I guess. You can have some big animals that are pretty weak. I don't know, actually. Do you know what? I'm quite scared of the idea of fighting a giraffe that batter me. I'll go for some like kind of medium-sized dog or something like that. Maybe like an antelope, because they're quite big, but I can't imagine they're particularly strong, though they're quite fast, actually. I don't know, okay, I'll go for like a koala bear or something, a little fluffy guy. I definitely could have a koala bear. Bob Mooney said, as you're fair into your tunes, what's your favourite album of all time, and do you miss playing in a band? Bob, I miss it more than you could possibly imagine, mate. Of course I do. It's the best years of my life playing in a band, but that's what happens. My favourite album, I'll go and get it, one sec. And I'm back. My favourite album is this. It's Arcade Fire Funeral. This is an album that came out and I found when I was at university like 10, 12 years ago, something like that. And it was incredible. It changed my life, basically. It made me want to be in a band more than anyone. I loved it so much that the other day, I actually ordered a cushion which has the artwork on the front of it. And look at that. It's here. I got this like 2 days ago. And I'm absolutely in love with it. I'm in love with a cushion. Who would have thought I said that? I think that's getting past 30 when you fall in love with a cushion. But I think that answers your question there. Arcade Fire Funeral. Luke Rivetta with a very hypothetical question. Current Edison or Prime Heart? The different, I guess it means, in what context? If it's for this team, it's Edison hands down. It's a very different kind of keeper. It's weird saying different kind of keeper, but Edison's changing how I view keepers, genuinely. He's like, normally keepers are just the guys that stand there and keep the ball on net, but Edison is just reinventing, in my head, the idea of a keeper. He's more composed than most footballers that are field players. I'm going to say for the sheer like freak nature of him, I'm going to say Edison, because he just makes me laugh out loud. No other keeper does that. Edison is just a freak and I enjoy him, though I do love Prime Heart. He was fantastic, but it's Edison for me. Sorry, Joe. DOA got all Grand Design said, talk us through your decor of your lounge. Well, firstly, I should say that I'm renting this. I don't own it, sadly, but the decor, I'll just show you a little bit now, one sec. Well, this is the guy who owns its artwork on the wall there. You can see he's got some nice artwork. It's all his, but it's really nice stuff. It's got a lot of brick wall going on, which I'm a big fan of, all that kind of stuff. It's got like my vinyl player down here and all that kind of stuff. A shelf with some random bits on. There's the kitchen area. There's a shelf with some more random bits on. But in general, I'm just a big fan of the brick ceiling. There's a sofa and PlayStation down there and the TV and stuff. And there's the desk where I'm recording this video right now. Look, see it, group. It's just a lot of random stuff that means things to me, basically. Loads of personal stuff that everywhere that I love. Big fan of this, by the way. This is his picture, the New Yorker picture, but that's my Lord of the Rings ring I got from Comic-Con because I'm an absolute nerd. And of course, Baby Groot there. Yeah, so that's the decor. I mean, I didn't design this place, I'm just renting it. It's absolutely beautiful. I wanted somewhere, me and Nicola, when we moved in, we wanted somewhere with character. Because we're pretentious bastards, and this place is, we fell in love with it the first time we saw it, and it's a beautiful little place in Manchester. So yeah, this is the decor of the lounge. It's not mine, but the guy who owns the place, Michael, you've done a fantastic job, mate. The Woo Woo Kid 007, who wins the award for the best and most confusing username so far. What does that even mean, mate? He said, what is the biggest band you've shared a stage with? It's the Pogues. You must know the Pogues, surely. Fairy Tale of New York, you know, everyone knows that song. It's basically all the time at Christmas. That was at the Apollo. Do you know what? I'll put a link to it here now. Or is it here? It's one of these two sides. There's a video of it. We were playing at the Apollo in front of about 3,500, 4,000 people a few years back. That was a great night. Packed Mouse said, top favourite 3 Nintendo characters of all time. 1 second. My other cushion that arrived the other day is a very nerdy but very cool Zelda kind of like tapestry cushion. I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy. I'm a huge Zelda fan. So Link has to be there because It's incredible games. The music and the nostalgia attached to all. I'm obsessed with Zelda games because they're just these big open adventures that you can explore, and they just take you off on different adventures. When I was a kid playing A Link to the Past on my SNES, it changed my perspective on life. It was just so vast and so incredible. The music, the lore, just amazing. And obviously, I'm a big Mario fan. Mario games are just incredible. And then for me, the other Nintendo character would be... That's a really tough question because I'm thinking, can you have characters from the same series, like, you know, like Ganon or something like that, or then like Toad from Mario, even Donkey Kong, I guess, technically. But I'm going to actually go for one that maybe might not even be that Nintendo, just because I think it's one of the most underrated games of all time. I'm going to go for Banjo-Kazooie as a collective because they're one character. Because unbelievable game, so underrated. In my opinion, better than Mario 64. Is he a Nintendo character? Well, he's most famous for that, so I'm going to stick to that. But other than that, if I was forced to choose one who's definitely Nintendo, I would probably say, like, you know, the collection of Pokemon, just because they're iconic, like, I don't know, like Pikachu or something. Max Jones said, how were the Flight of the Conchords? Oh, they were amazing, Max, thank you. It's about a bit old now, this, because this was like a week and a half ago, but I saw them at the M&A Arena, the Manchester Arena, and it was so good, so funny, so endearing. If you don't know them, go and see them live if you get a chance to. They're so funny. Matt Giles said, I think this is the penultimate question now. Realistically, what trajectory is City as a club going to have when Pep leaves? Can you see us buying the next generation as you did the last couple of years? Average players could soon be worth 100 million. Well, I think some players are nearly worth that and are kind of like slightly average. No, Matt, I think in general the fees will, that bubble will burst soon. And I think we'll see the fees slowly start to deflate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear this is the first time the TV package rights have actually changed and gone a little bit lower. They'll be very expensive still, but I think in general fees will start to settle a little bit eventually. Yeah, we'll always buy the most exciting young players. I have no idea what's going to happen when Pep leaves. It's going to be a really sad day, but who knows who's going to be around. It could be a great manager that's emerged out of nowhere. Well, I'm sure we'll get the best that's possibly available, but I still think we'll be around the top because we're too big a club, we're too well run not to be, so we just have to wait and see, really. And you know what, this is the last question. Avriac said, what's going over in Esteemed Gaming? Yeah, I kind of got a bit giddy when I started that channel. Sorry, I didn't mean to, I just kind of got caught up in the moment. I'm a quite impulsive person, I get excited by new ideas, and I was like, oh, it'd be great to have a gaming channel. Not realising that at the time I was commuting about 3 hours a day, which was really hard to get to work, and also didn't really have the equipment required, and didn't have the time, and had a life, and I didn't have time to do it, really. I also realised I kind of enjoy playing games, you know, like as a relaxing thing, and never mind making for another video. But I do want to do it one day. Maybe Nicola and I will do it. We'll do it as some kind of like couple thing. It'd be quite fun maybe, but hopefully I'll do some kind of test video inside the next month or so and see how that goes. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the Q&A. I'm absolutely knackered now. Sorry if I missed your question. I didn't mean to. There was so many questions. I'll do another Q&A when I get to 20k subscribers. I'm nearly there, so tell a friend to subscribe. Get me to 20k. I'll do one with Nicola as well, because that'll be more fun as well. If I didn't answer your question, I apologise. I answered as many as I could. Realistically, before the video will get too long. But thanks for watching. Subscribe as well. Let us know some of your answers to the questions too. And thank you, as ever, for being men. You're all absolutely incredible. Thank you, guys. See you in a bit.